folks, this is Enrico Nardini for Play Unplugged TV and PlayUnplugged.com, and I'm here with Ryan O'Connor from Gary Games. He's the Director of Marketing. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing great, Rico. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Ryan, so, I've reviewed 2 games from Gary Games, two of the Ascension games, including most recently Storm of Souls, which I loved the changes, loved the event cards and things like that. And I've had this whole deck building kind of explosion that's going on in the game industry. There's so many great deck building games, and I really feel like Ascension's one of the best. So glad to have you for an interview again. So tell me, what's the latest news with Ascension?
Well, we've had Storm of Souls just come out for the iOS, and that's been a great hit. Like all of our iOS releases. We also have Immortal Heroes coming out in the fall, which is an expansion for Storm of Souls. So we're really looking forward to that. It really takes a lot of the mechanics from Storm of Souls and expands on them. There's new events, there's new variations on the trophy mechanic, and there's also another new mechanic called Soul Gems, and that kind of brings back the souls of the old heroes from the first set to use them in a different way in the new set. So I'm really excited about showing that to players too, coming later this month.
That sounds awesome. Can you give us a little preview, for example, how does that soul mechanic work?
Well, we already showed off the Ara Templar Soul Gem. And how the Soul Gems work is there are cards that give you Soul Gems in the center deck variety. And how it works is you get the Soul Gem and you have to use it that turn or it goes away. And it's basically just the hero. So you just get a one-off hero effects, but it's a random deck of 40 Soul Gems. So when you get a Soul Gem, you don't know which one you're getting. It could be a Spike Vixen Soul Gem, or it could be an Ara Templar Soul Gem, or it could be a Master Dartha Soul Gem. So it's just a fun new way to change things up, and I think players will really like it. So.
That sounds awesome. So what about, there's also going to be a big event coming up for Gen Con. You had it last year. It's going to be this year too, the World Championships for Ascension. What kind of things do you do to prepare for that?
Well, last year the event went awesome. We had a huge turnout for the event. We had Dave Williams, poker star, playing in the event, a bunch of other great people we've known. And a guy named Aaron won the event, and so his card is going to come up in the Immortal Heroes expansion. It's called Aaron the Godslayer, because he won the Godslayer title last year. And it's just, it's a fun thing that we can give away, giving away the ability for somebody to have a card made in their likeness. So we had, custom art made by Eric Saby. It looks awesome. And I can't wait to show that one off too when we start previews next month. So
it's funny, the Eric Saby's art was actually what attracted me to the game originally. When I first played Chronicles of the Godslayer, that art really stuck with me, and I was just like, wow, this is this is some very cool game art. One thing that Gary Games Ascension, you guys haven't shied away from is kind of really including the fans. So between having someone have a card made of themselves, the gaming proposal thing that happened recently, you guys really, is that like part of your is it just part of an overall philosophy at the company?
I mean, I really like doing cool stuff, and I think when you do cool stuff, it's pretty successful. So. Like with the gaming proposal, with being able to give away custom cards for players, it's just something that it takes a little bit of effort on our part, but it really has a big effect on the community when we can give that kind of stuff out to the community and do that for the community. I think it really helps letting fans know that we care about them and and that we want to incorporate them in the game, because it's all of our experience. It's not just our game that they're buying, it's the game that everybody's kind of enjoying together, I think. So
yeah, absolutely. And speaking of people, I don't know if that guy walked in front of the camera or not. So if you saw me make some funny faces, it had nothing to do with what Ryan was saying. There was somebody who was about to walk in front of the camera. Not a big deal. We're at a con. It's live. There's people going on.
Funny faces.
Yeah. So and I also exactly. No, but it's really it's one of those things. I thought like I said, after and we reposted the gaming proposal video, because when I watched it, I was like, this is kind of like what it's all about. I thought that was just like a company being extremely, extremely cool. So that's a feather in your cap.
Well, thanks. I mean, it was it's a really lucky opportunity for us too, because like everybody watched the video and everything, and it was really cool. Alan contacted us, and I finally got to meet him in person this weekend. So it was really nice to finally get to meet him after we'd talked so much over email, working on his proposal card and setting up the video and everything. And he had just contacted us about wanting to do the proposal. I thought it sounded like an awesome idea. We got Eric to do some custom art for the couple, and it worked out. Thankfully, she said yes. So. And we also
that would have been awkward.
Yeah. And then, but we also got to, we made a promo and gave that out to everybody. So the Ring of Life promo, people can get that on our website and just from us at cons also. And yeah, it's just a fun story. So now we have that promo and we can tell that story every time somebody buys it or whatnot. And it's just a cool backstory to it, I think.
So Ryan, I'm assuming, for some final questions, I'm assuming, as a person working for the company, you're deeply entrenched in Ascension, and I'm sure you've played a lot. Do you have a particular strategy or style that you like? Personally, I always gun for draw cards. I love cards that make you draw more cards. That's usually like my play style. But is there a particular, like when I first started out, I was like, oh, I love the Mechana constructs, but I kind of moved more into the more into the draw cards. They became more of a thing I liked. I liked the mechanic behind getting as many draw cards and like suddenly like throwing down like, here's this. Okay, now I'm gonna draw 2 more cards. Now I'm gonna draw another card.
Taking long chain turns.
Yes.
I like them all. I like playing all the different strategies. I play so much at this point. Like I play on the iOS. I have probably 10 games going at any given time with just other friends, and I like trying all the strategies. I've gotten a chance to play a lot more Storm of Souls now that it's on iOS with all my friends. And, I like trying all the different strategies. One of the things I really liked about Storm of Souls is that it just kind of reimagines all of the themes and everything from the original set. So if you're playing Storm of Souls instead of Chronicle of the Godslayer, it really is a completely different experience, and it's different strategies. You have to evaluate the cards differently, and it's just nice to have the different formats and the different compositions of the decks act differently. So
actually, on the Storm of Souls note, you had mentioned earlier when we were speaking, with the latest release, there's going to be more event cards, which I was like, when I did the review, that was one of the things I was like, I love these event cards. I want more of them.
Yeah, so we're going to have a new event mechanic in the Immortal Heroes expansion where you get 20 placeholder cards, and they go in the deck, so you can actually play with up to 4 sets and use the 20 cards so that there's an even distribution of events in the deck then. And you can take the events. There's going to be a new one for each faction, so that'll bring it up to 10 events. And you can have that in a separate deck, and you can have a starting event then too. Because some people didn't like that, you can go a while without having an event come up. So that's a new variant that we're going to introduce that we think will be really popular, and we think a lot of people will like it. And it's also scaled in a way that it can grow with it, since you have 20 cards in there, and you'll just be able to mix those in with whatever deck you're using and keep the events separately. So I think players will really like that. And the new trophy mechanics are really awesome too. We have a couple new takes on the trophies, and I think players will really dig what we've done with those.
Cool. Last question. So of all the, now there are 3 sets currently, and 3 major sets in circulation, plus promo cards and all those other things. Of all those cards, if you had to pick one card and say, that's my favorite card, what's your favorite card? On the spot right now.
I would probably say Dandelion Witch is my favorite card, just because it can do really disgusting things if you get it in combination with lots of other stuff. I really like Lionheart from the new set, also the Unite and gain 3 honor and draw a card. That's fun. We've been playing a lot of Storm of Souls and Return of the Fallen, which, although it wasn't designed to be played together a bunch, everything's balanced in a vacuum anyways. So they ended up working really well, and I've been playing a lot of that recently too, and that Dandelion Witch in there with Lionhearts is a lot of fun. So
can you explain, just for our viewers that might not know, can you explain how Dandelion Witch works?
Oh, well, so it just Lionheart and Dandelion Witch are both typical Lifebound cards that let you gain honor and draw cards as you're going, so you can kind of chain a bunch of them together. Dandelion Witch lets you gain an honor for every Lifebound card you've played. So, you could just play a bunch with the new Unite stuff in Storm of Souls, plus the Dandelion Witch and a couple other, and Great Omen Raven and Return of the Fallen. The combination is really nice. Sometimes I do like, playing the Lifebound strategy and just getting a bunch of Lifebound and playing a bunch of Lifebound in a turn. That's a lot of fun and degenerate, so.
Absolutely. Ryan, thank you. Fantastic interview.
Thanks a lot, Rico. Appreciate it.
All right, folks. This is Enrico Nardini with Ryan O'Connor from Ascension, signing out. Greetings, this is Enrico Nardini with Play Unplugged TV for Play Unplugged, and I'm here with Gary Games, an Ascension employee of some sort. No, I guess.